All right, now we learned how to adjust the tapes so you can come up with any length and width that you want. Tag is a visual tool, and by visual tool I mean it has things in it that hopefully remind you visually of what you're doing, both in this yellow tape measure that appears and the moving shape that changes depending upon the dimension. Okay, let's learn how to use these tapes. They're not that difficult. Just like any tape, it has, this tape is a shortened tape. The screen is small, so I can't have 30 inches of tape laying across it, but I can have the last 4 or 5 inches. So when you're looking at this tape and trying to understand what it means, if you see from here, it starts at 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and 18, and there's some of these dots here. We call them ticks. There's the half-inch tick, the one that comes down a little right there, and if you get that on, you see it's 18.5 inches. And you can adjust it 2 ways. You put your hand on it, you touch your finger lightly here, drag to the right, it's going to get smaller, that number's going down. You lift your finger up at this point, move back across, push down, drag easily. If you push too hard or you try to drag really and with your hand squished down hard against the screen, it probably won't work right. It's a light touch. Your finger, when you look at it, is represented by my arrow here. And what you have to remember is it's not the tip of your finger that is actually touching the screen. It's like a tire on a car. It's round and there's only the bottom part of the tread that's actually touching the ground. So if you wanted to touch the road with your tire, you would have the tire over the center and then you would move it back and forth. So kind of move your finger up and down and find that sweet spot where it's going to work for you. You touch it, drag it one way, lift your finger, come back, put it down. Of course, I'm physically lifting the arrow, but you'll be lifting it straight away from the screen. When you want to go to the other way, you shuffle it just like you're counting dollar bills or you're pulling a piece of paper out from another one with your finger. Okay? So here we have 25.5 inches. You can read that on the darkened portion end of the tape and watch the ticks go by and know where you're at. Or if you'd rather, you can watch at the top of the screen and watch the numbers change. Just move your finger slowly till you get the dimension you want. Lift your finger. The delay, it goes away in the tape and it comes up and gives you the dimension you want. If that's not right, just touch it lightly again, jog it back and forth, really easy until you get it right where you want it. The vertical tape on this screen and all the other screens work the same way, only now you have to find the sweet spot again. Don't push too hard, lift up, let go. Push down, drag it, lift your finger up, and so on. Now this time, the number comes from the bottom. So you have 11 coming up there, now 12. Right, see, we're right dead on 12, right there. We look up, yep, that's right. I find it's easiest to hold this whole iPhone in my left hand, and I reach across with my thumb, and I just sweep it with my thumb across this way, up and down. Other people like to hold the calculator, the iPhone in their left hand and use their finger. Either way is fine. And after a while, once you get over, I think the biggest problem I've seen is people push it too hard and they get discouraged if they're a little bit off center. So just touch lightly, play with a little bit. It's not going to hurt anything and you'll become an expert. Okay, we'll explain all these screens shortly, but right now the whole point is to have you understand the tapes and how they work. Okay, let's see what's next. Okay, we're going to adjust the tapes. Like we said, we learned how to adjust length and width tapes. Now let's see what we can get from the result.